Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our president, Darrell Adams, and all of my colleagues at the Kinsmen Club of Cornwall, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 68th Annual Kinsmen Music Festival Concert of the Stars. Before we get started, we would like to thank and acknowledge our event organizer, Jane McLaren, and here's a word from Jane.
The Kinsmen Music Festival started in 1953, so almost 70 years ago. This is actually our 68th festival. We did have to cancel in 2020, and this is the longest running program that the Kinsmen Club has offered to the community. Back in 1953, the hope was to create something that allows students to come together and to gain knowledge and experience in music, and also to share their gifts and their talents. And I bet if you asked them in 1953, none of them would have imagined a festival that looked like this in the virtual world we live in. But here we are. This year, our students had the chance to perform for the adjudicator, and they videotaped themselves. Those tapes were submitted to our adjudicators. They got comments back, but we're also hosting a virtual masterclass, so they have the opportunity to work with the teachers and learn from them. And provincials this year are also virtual. So one thing that opens when you go to a virtual music festival at a provincial level, you remove the need to travel across the province. So it makes it open to more students. We have more students able to go forward and increase their learning even more by working with adjudicators at a virtual level at a provincial right across the province, which is really exciting. And on top of that, Queen's University, through the Don School of Music, has offered a scholarship so that we have a group of students who will be receiving a private lessons. We were able to send 2 of our students this year, and they will be doing a private lesson with a professor at Queen's University. So again, even more knowledge, more experience, more opportunity for them. And with the partnership of Your TV, our students will also be able to showcase and celebrate and share their gifts with the community. So in as much as in 1953, nobody could have ever imagined this crazy world we currently live in, the heart of this festival, to offer students the opportunity to share music, learn in knowledge, share their hearts and share their gifts with the community, it hasn't changed. That heart still remains the same. And that's the reason why we go ahead and do this in a virtual world. I think you're going to be really excited to see the level of talent that these young people have and the gifts that they offer. And just, we hope you will sit back and just celebrate with them their love and their passion of music and all that it gives to them and all that it gives to us as a community.
Thank you, Jane. Now let's hear from the Kinsmen Club president, Darrell Adams.
Hi, this is Darrell Adams, president of the Cornwall Kinsmen Club. This year marks the 68th anniversary of the Kinsmen Music Festival. And like in previous years, you're going to be thrilled and entertained with the amount of talent we have here in Cornwall and the Seaway Valley. On behalf of the members of the Kinsmen Club of Cornwall and Jane McLaren, our organizer and registrar of this wonderful event, we wish all our participants and students the best of luck this year.
Thank you, President Darrell. Now let's get started with the 68th Annual Kinsmen Music Festival Concert of the Stars. And our first performance is by Gideon and Ezra Potter. It's a duet, and their selection is The Old Rocking Chair, composed by Martha Meyer. Our next performance on the piano is by Naomi Potter, and her selection is Invention in A minor, composed by F. Sylvester. Our next performer is Abigail Zhao on the piano, and her selection is Sidewalk Chalk, composed by C. Duncan. Our next performer is Kelsey Duncan on the piano, and the selection is Rondo, composed by Joanne Hummel.
A little bit of canine interference. I apologize. Next up is Jonna Potter, also on the piano, and the selection is Smooth and Crunchy, composed by Alyssa Milne. Our next performer, Haley Smith,
and her selection is A Million Dreams, composed by Hugh Jackson and others. Our next performer, Theodora Scarponi, on the piano, and her selection is Concert Time, composed by Alfred Basic Library. You're watching the 68th Annual Kinsmen Music Festival. We'll now have a short break, after which we'll return with a number of great performances.